Today we're going to be focusing on life, love, stress, and setbacks. Welcome back to another episode of Life for Lost, and today it's just me. We are both balancing so many different things once again, and we wanted to make sure we have something out there for the universe to listen to. And today is Monday, April, oh my gosh, is it the 27th? Yes, it is the 27th already. So I'm coming to you live from our loft right now. It is very exciting. We've had this vision for a little bit now and didn't know how we'd be able to do it, if we'd be able to afford it. We do have a smaller apartment and we really wanted to have a space for our podcasts because in the past when we were living with Sam's mom, when we had to put up all the cameras and the lights and all of this stuff, it really took about an hour to put everything up and an hour to take everything down. It was a bit overwhelming, and it's really nice that now we have this really nice table, these cozy chairs. We're getting this custom neon light made that's coming in right around my birthday, so I'm super excited for everything to kind of come together. Sam wants these kind of ivy plants hanging from the back. I really want banana plants, and I really want to, or leaves at least, and I really want to color them pink or purple. Not real ones, obviously, but he's like, I don't really know what that would look like. So I think one day I'm just going to kind of surprise him, but that'll be a side project. But yes, we did that. I tried to put together the stairs. So our loft right now, what's going on is I'm so excited for you guys to see it. I think maybe not next week, but the week after, we are going to start to film. And we have this wooden loft right now, and it's holding up our mattress. And then underneath is where we'll be sitting. And so there's regular ladders, right, that you can use that they're stepping stool kind of ladders or ladders that you would use when you're maybe painting a house. And I really wanted Oreo to be able to get up on our bed. And so I made this custom ladder, and it kind of doubles as a bookshelf, except I think it's a little too tall for him to jump up and a little bit too narrow because we only had a certain amount of space. But we're still kind of trying to navigate that part. I've been just bringing him up in my arms, back up and down, and he's really not a fan. He gets a little nervous. And it was just a crazy process getting everything together for these stairs. But I'm excited. They're there. They're ready to go. So that's kind of life going on right now. Just juggling a bunch of things. And then switching over to love, we attended a really cool event called Love Rules on Friday night, and it was hosted by Shetty. He's a podcaster, he's a writer, he's a former monk, and his knowledge for life and love just seemed limitless. And I really love listening to his podcast. It's called On Purpose. And he has a lot of really cool guests kind of talking about their life, their purpose. And I think that's a really big, I don't want to say issue, but it's a really big question I think a lot of us have. More specifically me, I get very lost, as Sam says, lost in the sauce at what my purpose is, what I'm doing here. Am I enough? Is what I'm doing enough? Like, can I be doing more? Should I be doing more? It's very like a complex in my mind system that really doesn't need to be as complex. But I really love listening to Shetty because he really kind of explains things in a way where I can actually understand. And it's so funny and kind of annoying because, so I brought Sam with, right? He doesn't know Shetty at all. Maybe he's seen a few clips, but he had no idea what he was getting into. And it was funny because Jay was up on stage talking about love and different things, specifically how your partner argues. And he said it's very important to know. I think there was 3 examples. There was one where your partner really wants to figure out what's going on right now and solve it. The second one was where your partner is just really wants to walk away and think about it and talk about it later. And the third one was explosive, just really wants the other person to understand why they're feeling the way they are. And Sam often talks about how we really need to figure out how each other argues, how, and literally specifically in that way. He's been talking to me about that before, and I didn't really understand. And then of course Jay gets on stage and says the exact same thing, and I can just feel the like laser beam eye look from Sam sitting right next to me, just like, I told you kind of thing. And so I don't know, maybe I'm just stubborn and I just refuse sometimes to listen to what Sam has to say, because I'm like, no, like, you're not right. But it was really cool to experience that with Sam. And it was pretty interactive. It was really cool to kind of see other people and couples, how they interact or how they go through things too. And the end was really awesome too. And I'm sure there's going to be videos and things like that all over online if you want to check it out. But I was really stoked to go, and I didn't realize he was coming until last minute, and the tickets were $800 when I first looked, and they just kept fluxing around from being sold out to $300 to $500. And I woke up on Friday and I told myself, we are going. We're going to that show, and I'm marching up to the box office, and I'm going. And after I got back from a doctor's appointment, I went, and he said there's 2 left, and they are only $100. And I was like, oh my gosh, we may not be having groceries this week, but we will be seeing the show. And yeah, so I was really excited, and we had a really good time. And then afterwards, Sam convinced me to go to McDonald's and have a cheeseburger, which neither of us have had actual McDonald's cheeseburgers in maybe 15 years. We were trying to kind of gauge, but it's been a while. It was really good. And we sat there, and I think we watched a part of The Hangover 2 and just giggled, and it was really nice. I really liked it. But going on to the next topic, which is stress. So kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, and that's just kind of the feeling of maybe not feeling like I'm enough or not believing in myself when I set up these goals. And recently, with the whole being bit by a cat situation, it really kind of came into my life, and I didn't handle it as well as I thought I could have. I let it get the best of me when I didn't think I was. So it's like I'm going throughout life, those days that happened afterwards, and I'm like, it's fine, everything's fine. Except it really wasn't fine, and I wasn't handling it how I felt like maybe I was. Does that make sense? And then it catches up to me. And then I realize, okay, you're not waking up at 4 a.m. anymore. You're not working out anymore. You're not eating healthy anymore. You're not doing these things. And I'm slowly noticing each day, I'm not even crossing them off. I have this little list on my wall of the top 13 things I want to do in a day. And Sam just laughs at me and is like, that is ridiculous. It's like, you're setting yourself up to fail. And it's actually, he's right. And I didn't want to believe him because I thought I could do it every single day. But now when I look at it, and it's like these days go past, and all I can cross off is, yes, I took my thyroid pill. And there's only like a little dot on there, or a cross out little check mark on there. It's a little sad because it's like, okay, I could have done more. I should have done more. What was I doing that I didn't get to this task or job that can better my life, or what I think can better my life? And it brings me down. It really does. And I think that I had seen my therapist last Wednesday, and I was kind of telling her about this, about how I feel like I'm maybe just not enough, how I'm really getting annoyed with my intrusive thoughts, and how, what did I word it to her? Oh yeah, so I kind of, an example was, you know what a brainstorming is, right? So you start with your main idea in the middle. Say we're writing this down on a piece of paper. Your main idea is in the middle, and maybe it's something I'm stressed out about, like the house is super dirty and I'm annoyed. Okay, so then it branches out, a line up to another box, which is, what is Sam doing now? Is he helping me? Which branches out to another box, which branches out to another box, and it can go on and on and on. And I'm not handling the initial problem. And that is what creates like this toxic thought process that I continuously go through, and it's not helping me, it's not helping Sam, it's not helping Maya, it's not helping anybody, and I'm finding myself in the crosshair of these things. And a few things that I just wanted to briefly mention that seems so annoyingly simple, but has really helped me kind of de-stress. And one of them is this 5 4 3 2 1. It's funny because Maya came home one time talking about this, but I had no idea what she was referring to, and I was getting confused and kind of annoyed, and I was like, what? Like, you're not making sense, but awesome, you know? Just told her, like, cool, yeah. It was something she learned at school. And what it is you look around. It's a way to kind of get your mind off things. So you look around and you find 5 things. So I will do it right now. 5 is I'm looking at a green sheer curtain. 4, I'm looking at Sam's stereo. 3, I'm looking at a cozy chair. 2, I'm looking at our Rode Podcaster Pro. I think that's what it's called. This thing that's helping me make this podcast. And 1, I'm looking at this air purifier. Now you go into 4 things that you can touch. 1, I'm touching my headphone cord because I don't want it to make noise. 2, I'm touching my thumb, my phone, and then the last one will be this kind of fuzziness fabric on the chair, kind of like a mink. And then it's 3 things that you can hear, smell, taste. Yes, sorry. Hear. I can hear a helicopter above me right now. I can hear the static in the in my headphones, and I can hear birds. 2, something I can smell. I'm making a prosciutto pizza right now for lunch, and I can smell the cheese and the bread. And 1 is supposed to be something you can taste, but because I don't have anything really in my mouth right now, you can also do like an affirmation, like I can do this or I am loved. And that has literally taken me out of multiple potential panic attacks this week, which has been really nice because I've had to just stop myself and not just go into this overflow of thoughts. That is what kills me every time. Every time I start a panic attack, start feeling like I'm getting into a panic attack, my mind goes into these little thought bubbles and it just does not stop. And I can't like pop them and get them out. And Sam is trying so hard to help me through them one by one. And I'm just digressing constantly into this pit of nothingness. It goes nowhere. It just leads into more panic about things I have no control of. And we don't have control of anything in general, but yeah, it's overwhelming. And so that alone has helped me so much in just, I don't know, less than a week. She also taught me how to, when I get really angry, just to like clench my fist, or, well, you actually start by your toes. You like clench your toes as hard as you can for 7 seconds, and then you let it go, and then you do that kind of going out throughout your body up until your head, and that's helpful too, kind of in the moment. Just actually being really aware of the main feeling that I'm feeling. So the other day I was kind of getting annoyed with, I think it was Maya or Oreo or something. And so I'm sitting there and I'm getting pissed. The annoyance is going to getting mad, it's getting to anger, and obviously that's going to get into like an explosion. So I caught myself when I got kind of annoyed, and I was like, in my head I was thinking, Megan, you are annoyed because Oreo is not moving fast enough to get ready to go outside or something like that. And then I just realized that that is my feeling. That is it. I'm not going to look anywhere else to blame another reason why I might be annoyed. I'm just going to focus on that one reason. And then I kind of realized, and I backtrack and I look at like, what can I do to help myself, or what can I do to help this person or this dog or whatever the case is, and kind of just structure it in that way instead of start thinking like, woe is me, I'm going to be late, blah, blah, blah. So that's also been helping a lot. And yeah, so going on to setbacks. I've been feeling like because I haven't been waking up early that I'm not getting enough done. I've been feeling, but equally, here's a weird thing. I equally feel really good. I feel well rested. I feel like I'm still able to get things somewhat done. And it's a kind of like a weird progression. So my work, it's really nice. I get to work from home and I really love the flexibility it gives me. Like right now, I'm kind of taking my lunch. You can take in like a 1 hour lunch, a 3 hour lunch, a 5 hour lunch. Like it's nice. I like being able to do that because it doesn't put me in kind of like a box that I've always felt like I've been in. It means that you have to be a lot more disciplined though with your time. And I think I was struggling a lot with that. But now I'm kind of just trying to learn a different balance and try to be okay with certain things. If my day doesn't go a certain way or certain times, I, you know, just try to say, okay, well, I'm here now. What can I do? An example of that would be because I have to keep going into the emergency room to get these damn shots for the damn cat. I have time. So I bike up maybe 30 blocks. I get there, I check into the emergency room, and I'm treated like the regular patients, right? Why wouldn't I be? This isn't really an emergency. So then I have to sit there from anywhere from like 1 to 3 hours. Yesterday I went in again for my third rabies vaccine, and I was there for about 3 hours. And all I could do is sit. It's not like I can go up and say anything. I mean, maybe I could, but that's so disrespectful when people are in there with like last time I was there, the time before this one, somebody had a butter knife in their leg. You know, this person this time had something in their ear and they were afraid they were losing their hearing. And here I am just waiting for a shot. So I was prepared. I brought some books. I tried to stay off my phone because I also am equally realizing that the studies are right and social media is making me depressed. So kind of trying to stay a little bit away and kind of keep to my own in that light a little bit. But it was nice because I've been reading a little bit about Ayurveda, and I hope I'm saying that right. But it's a really cool. I mean, I could really get deep into it, but I'll read you a little bit. It just says this book is understanding how our mind and bodily functions react to stress, and understanding how disease and illness are linked to diet, lifestyle, and the reduction of stress are the foundations of Ayurveda. And I really love this because there's three different doshas, and it kind of you get to take kind of like a test to figure out which one you fall into, and it's nice because they literally line out a line. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They literally give you this kind of step by step to what is best for your dosha, like what waking up at what time is kind of good, what should you maybe do in the morning, or how you should maybe eat, or if you're not aligned in this way, this is some kind of practices that maybe you can look into, such as like breath work or doing a specific kind of yoga. And I've been putting that into practice for the past week. I haven't been doing absolutely everything, but every day I'm kind of just adding more, or actually recognizing that I should be doing this over that, to help like maybe stress levels, or to help kind of guide me in a certain way, I guess, which has been helpful because I think when you're an adult, you have to guide yourself constantly. You have to constantly be there for yourself and make sure you're taking your vitamins or your medicine, or you're working out or getting certain places on time. It's not up to your mom, it's not up to your dad, it's not up to anybody else taking care of you. It's you have to do these things. So this has been really beneficial to say like, oh, like I'm not really sure what to do in this stressful situation. Oh, like let me go to this and see what kind of balance maybe I can help myself do. Kind of like a little how-to book. The one I started reading is called A Little Bit of Ayurveda, and it is an introduction to Ayurvedic medicine by Deacon Carpenter. There's another one that I got too called A Little Book of Self-Care Ayurveda, An Ancient System of Holistic Health to Bring Balance and Wellness to Your Life by Sonja Shosh Williams. I probably butchered that. But the second one is nice because it has a lot of pictures, and it's kind of broken up into parts a little bit more, where it's maybe a little bit more easier to see. But I really do like the first one because it kind of gets into the depths a little bit more, and it kind of makes you read a little bit about why it is. It does a better job at explaining. So I've been really kind of getting into that and trying to figure out what's best for me instead of forcing myself to do these 13 things that kind of seem impossible. And I'm just trying to figure out my balance. And I'd love to still do those things, but I think just adding in one or two, maybe every week, just going slow instead of just jumping into this. Because as a person, I don't know why I like to do that. I like to just jump in and just hold my breath and just say, like God, take the wheel. But we're going to slow this down because this is a marathon, not a sprint. And, yeah. The reason I got Life, Love, Stress, and Setbacks is from an Atmosphere song, and he's one of my favorite artists. He just came out with a new single. Oh, you know who else came out with a new single that doesn't want to talk about coming out with a new single is Sam. And I don't think he's going to listen to this, and I know he didn't really want to talk about it one time when I brought it up, but I'm going to talk about it. That kind of sounds mean, but I don't mean it in a mean way. I mean it because it's amazing. He came out with this new single, so if you have Spotify, just look up Sam Herscher, Herschcher, and you will see one song, and it's called Flux, and I love it. It was just signed by, let me see, the people who signed it was, oops, I'm playing it right now. Oh, well, I can. Trying to find the light in the shadows, but it'll get better tomorrow. Anything you need, let me know. Okay, so that is a preview, and I love it so much. You have no idea. So what I also love is that he has a bunch more that is coming out, and he's been working on like 5, 6, 7, just here and there, and they're so close for him to get ready to put out into the world. And this one is, he got it from High Five Music. So he got, it's different now when you're like on a record label, or when you have like a record company who is willing to put you on their label. It's a little bit more complicated, and I don't really know the ins and outs really of it. And I'm not sure if Sam ever wants to talk about that one day, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool because he reaches out to a bunch of record labels, and some will say like, we don't like this, or we really like this, or we want to help you with this, or we love this song, let's do it right now. Here's the contract, here's the paperwork. So it's a really cool process, and I really love this song. He also was making music under an old alias called Ukupacha, which I really love those songs too. I think there's maybe 4 or 5. But recently he wanted to do Sam Herscher, and I hope he talks about all of these decisions and kind of the songs at one time or another. But yeah, I really love this one, and I wish that I know that his thought process is like that it's not good enough, like it's not good enough to talk about yet, and I'm just like, yo, be in the moment. Like, this is amazing. You did really good. Like, somebody wanted you on their record label. Somebody had interest in you. Like, it's really cool. But I know he doesn't want to, like, celebrate the small wins with this, per se. With other things, he will, but I'm not sure. I really love it. So I hope you guys check it out and maybe leave him a comment on maybe his Instagram or go like the song. It's also on YouTube as well. It's also on Apple, I think, iTunes. I'm not sure where else it is, but go check it out, please. It would mean a lot to him, and if you let him know that you listen to it, I know that'll mean a lot to him too. So I'm super excited for this week. We have Maya. What else are we doing this week? We just have a lot of like things going on. Sam has been having a really bad back problem, so he's getting a massage today, and I'm super excited because he really deserves one. He's been killing himself. Last week he was working like 10, 12 hours every day, and he wasn't even having lunch. Sometimes we have lunch together. He wasn't having lunch. He was just dead by the end of the day. So hoping that this week he kind of calms down. I told him, I think you're having back problems because your body is like, calm down. And he's like, no, that doesn't make sense. I can do this. I'm not an old person. And I'm like, yes, we know you can do this, but you need to take breaks. You can't kill yourself. He's been working on his main 9 to 5. He also has freelance that he does, and he's also working on this really cool project that I hope he talks about soon too. And it's definitely taking a lot of time for all of these things to kind of come together, but it's really cool, and I'm proud of him for all of this hard work that he's putting into it, and he's super dedicated. And yeah, so I know we have a lot to do this week. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but we will talk again next week. And I know it's a little bit shorter, but I smell my pizza and I have to go check it. And I love you guys, and we will talk soon. As always, peace.